Hey, good morning, everybody. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I truly hope you had a special, wonderful day with family and loved ones. It was really spectacular. Anytime you get to eat good food and spend time with good people, family, loved ones, friends, I mean, how does it get any better than that? We are truly blessed here in Southern California. We are truly blessed here in the United States, and we're truly blessed with some really great fishing that we might be getting back to really, really soon. You know what time it is, everybody? It is Friday morning, and it's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, boy, does that smell so good. Ah, delicious. Hey, it is great to be back with you all again. And man, there's an air of excitement here at 22nd Street Landing this Friday morning. Why? Because the Freedom's getting ready to go at 11 a.m. And of course, on their last trip, they had phenomenal fishing. They had a 2-hour bite, started about 8 o'clock in the evening, and it just ripped until 10 or 10:30 until everybody was limited out on these truly magnificent, big grade bluefin tuna. I mean, the fish looked like they were 60 to over 100 pounds. It was a trip to remember. Can they repeat it? Why not? Why not? I mean, they are on top of their game. The Freedom crew is outstanding. And now, with this 11 a.m. departure, they're going to get there as the sun is setting and fish the entire night long, and that's exactly what you want to be doing in this bite right now. All right, let me get back to that in a moment, and as I like to do, just take you down south of the border. In fact, I am going to jump in a car in just about an hour from now. That's why I'm down here early doing this with you all. And then I'm going to Ensenada, Baja California. Actually, I'm going to go to Playa Saldamando and spend the night there, and that is a great place. If you've never done it, you owe it to yourself to Google Playa Saldamando. It's just short of Ensenada. It's on a stretch of beach that is absolutely pristine and beautiful, loaded with big old barred perch. And I hope I'm going to get a little time to catch a barred perch or two, because I love fishing at Playa Saldamando. Actually, I just like walking through there and hiking around. It's so secluded. You feel like you're a million miles away from everything. You look up in the sky at night, and it's just filled, the sky that is, with stars. It's such a beautiful place. So we're heading down there, and then the next day we're going down to see Victor and all our friends at Bluefin Sportfishing, because they're going to have a day for an orphanage. We're going to contribute a lot of stuff to it, and I just like goofing off with the kids more than anything, so really can't wait. So that's what we're up to. So now that we're talking about kind of south of the border, let's go into it a little bit more and tell you that down there out of Bluefin sport fishing, they've had really great bottom fishing here recently. I mean, lings and reds and boccaccio and all of that fish. And the weather should be just fine here for the next couple of days. Monday, it might get a little bit iffy, but a lot of that is offshore. So I think those guys are going to be fine. Now, when water temperatures drop, of course, we say bye-bye to the Dorado and the yellowfin tuna and tropical and subtropical fish like that. But we also beckon in some nice big lingcod that move from the deeper water into the shallows. They like that cool water, and they'll move into the Soledad Bank, which is down there off of Santo Tomas, and they will bite with reckless abandon. It's a great time to get down there, and it gets good in December and January and even February when that water is nice and cold. You can go down there and just bounce a jig off the bottom. That works super effectively. If you snag some mackerel and drop a mackerel down, well, lingcod love to chew on the mackerel. And of course, you bring some squid with you out on one of these trips, and most of the time they'll have that for you at Blackfin. Man, you can load up on reds and all kinds of great eating bottom fish. So once again, those guys down there at Blackfin continue their assault on the rockfish down there. And there has been some yellowtail around town. There's been a little bit at Todos Santos Island. There's been some around Punta Banda, and there's been some offshore on Kelpetties. Arnie Sportfishing in Ensenada has found some yellows here recently, and that's nothing to scoff at. Some nice fall, wintertime. We're not quite to winter, chronologically that is. We've got another month or so to go, a little less than that, but we're getting close to that, and water's cold, but there's still some yellows around. And at times, Todos Santos Island can crank out some really great yo-yo iron fishing for yellowtail. So we're watching all that. There's a little bit of that, but Arnie Sport Fishing also concentrating a lot on the rockfish, trying for the yellowtail. We'll see where we go from here. There's some big bonita also running around down there around Ensenada. So fishing in general, pretty darn good as long as we have good weather. Now, we'll have that blip where we'll get a little wind on Monday and a lot of wind offshore actually, and then we'll go back to some flat, calm, gorgeous weather again. So that is in our future and looking really, really good right now. All right, we bounce you up to San Diego. Nobody out because it was Thanksgiving, for God's sakes. Everybody was in, but it looks good to me. Down there around San Clemente Island, and it's vacillating, from down below, east of the island to up toward the middle part of the island, offshore. However, some of it around the 43 fathom spot. Anyway, that's irrelevant, really. The guys know where to take you, and they're going to take you out there, and it's a nighttime bite, as we mentioned previously. It's mostly nighttime. You'll pick a few fish in the daytime, and that could change, but right now it's all nighttime. And I got to tell you, knife jigs in the, I want to say, 400 to 600, you can get away with a 300, but 400 to 600 grams really has been working really well. As always, you want to drop when the captain tells you to drop. Brett Ender will tell you that, my good friend. It's so important. I mean, I say this all the time to you, but guys like Joe Martinez, who's just a pro at catching these bluefin tuna, and other guys, they work hard at it. They combine expertise with working hard. It's like anything else. Hard work pays off. So you got to be out on deck. It's cold out there. You could be in the galley watching the game or drinking a cup of coffee. Not Joe, not the guys who are successful. They're out there and they're dropping when the captain says to drop. And I mean, they may do that 10, 15, 20 times in a row with no bites, and they continue to be patient and diligent. It's such an important lesson when you're fishing those bluefin at night, because you might only get one shot at it. It may not be like that wide open bite we had on the Freedom the other day. So make sure you're out there and you're working hard, and that'll make all the difference in the world. When I drop back to the daytime bite, the few fish that have been picked have been on fluorocarbon for the most part. There's been some monofish, but we like www.opsonusa.com. Put in FA at checkout. You'll get a free gift from Greg Brown along with a love note from him. That is really important. Some guys can't get a bite on the 60 pound. You want to try and get a bite on 60 because those daytime fish are a lot tougher. They are really, really tough. I saw for myself on the Relentless the other day. The nighttime fish have a tendency to come in much easier than those daytime fish that are really tough fish. So if you can hook them on 60, you're doing yourself a favor. If you can't, I get it. Then you have to drop down to the 40 pound. And as always, choosing a really good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. I suspect we're going to see some really great fishing on Friday night into Saturday morning on those bluefin tuna. It is a case where, let's say there's 15 boats out there. Not everybody gets it. Maybe 4 of those guys will get that wide open limit style bite. Maybe a few more. Those long range boys are in on it also. But there are boats that maybe just get a fish per rod or less than a fish per rod, or some that just miss entirely. You don't get on that biting school. Sometimes that's the luck of the draw. So once again, hopefully the Freedom, hopefully you are going to get in on that school that really wants to chew. And of course, we'll be watching this for you very, very closely. It's amazing as we head now, before we were looking at Thanksgiving, now we're looking at Christmas. Are we going to have bluefin tuna into the new year? And my suspicion is yes, because these storms just do not seem to put them down. They are here. They are hungry. They've got to eat. And man, I'll tell you, here we go again with another phenomenal start, perhaps to 2023. I'm being presumptuous at this point in time. We're still in November, but we're heading toward another fantastic situation. So really great fishing going on there. Now, island-wise, down there at Todos Santos Islands, we've mentioned there's some big bonita, a few yellowtail around there, good rock fishing going on. That's off Ensenada. Coronado Islands, mostly rockfish right now. About 3 weeks ago, we had a drop in water temperature and it chased the yellows out of there. I think they'll be back, though, and I think you'll see some of those fish pop back into the counts, but a lot of the boats have thrown the towel in and are no longer fishing right now, so we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. Clemente, a little bit of yellows out there, not all that much, but there's copious amounts of market squid, and you all know what that means, man. You have the market squid, you have the predators, you have the sea bass, the halibut, the yellows, all of that stuff that follows that market squid, which is the squid we use for bait. So watch Clemente closely. Catalina, some of the yachts continue to catch some nice big white sea bass there. We don't see it on the sport boats, and a lot of the sport boats, again, have thrown the towel in. But guys that have live squid fishing in the shallows and some fish out in the deep have been scoring some sea bass there. And at Santa Barbara Island, SBI has been good for some big yellows and also some white sea bass, occasional halibut. Channel Islands, really great rock fishing up there. Some excellent lingcod fishing at times. Few sea bass and halibut. Plenty of market squid in the Santa Monica Bay region, along the coast, out there at the island. So all of that is just really laying the seeds for a magnificent spring next year. At least that's the way I see it. Up there at Verges in Morro Bay, we continue to see really excellent rock fishing up there. Along our coastal regions, we continue to catch good whitefish and rockfish, that kind of stuff. Up there out of Ventura, sport fishing on the Island Spirit, Cody Rogers is really picking away well at the whitefish and sheepshead, providing excellent table fare for everybody. 805-676-3474 if you'd like to join Cody and get out on a trip with him. They've had really good fishing. And then also, you know, we can jump down to Ensenada, San Diego, Dana Wharf, Oceanside. I'm going to skip somebody, but all the way up the coast, Marina del Rey Redondo, San Pedro, right here where I'm at, they've had some good white fishing. In fact, guys on the Monte Carlo, they've been reporting really excellent whitefish and some sheepshead and rockfish to go along with that, so that's good. In the surf, an occasional halibut here and there, a little bit of spot fin, croaker, and more barb perch, because they like that cool water also. They're starting to move in, so that is good news. They are fun to catch, and they are good to eat. So barb perch starting to move into the picture. Could you do me a big favor and hit that like button? Forgot to ask you earlier on to do that. Smash that thumbs up. It makes all the difference in the world to us. I'm going to say goodbye to you right now. Jump in a car and head south of the border. We'll drive through Tijuana, Rosarito. Probably have breakfast in Rosarito, and then shoot on down to Playa Saldamando and kind of get organized with all our stuff. And then we'll head down to Ensenada, out there on the Puna Banda, and go see Victor and our dear friends out there at Blackfin Sport Fishing. And I know it's going to be a spectacular day on Saturday. Anytime you're dealing with kids who need love, orphanage like this, it's a special day. And I say it every single time I'm involved in something like this. Some of you know that I was a lay missionary when I was a kid, so I spent a year in Costa Rica, a couple years in Mexico, just teaching mostly poverty-stricken people. And I'll say it again. I mean, I get way more out of these experiences than I'm able to give to the people down there in Mexico, Costa Rica, or wherever it is around the world. They just have so much to give you. And right after Thanksgiving, this is one of those times when you go and you see people who are in a situation that is way worse than anything you're in, and that gratitude of being thankful for what you have, it's just reinforced by these kinds of experiences. So totally looking forward to it. And, you know, besides all of that, I just like goofing off with kids because I am one. I haven't grown up, and I don't intend to. All right, everybody, thanks again. Really appreciate it. Some great fishing ahead. Watch the Freedom. I think they're going to have a nice day, and the rest of the San Diego fleet's going to get on that. Monday, we have that weather coming up a little bit, but it gets out of the picture. It gets really windy out there in that Bluefin area. I would say if the forecast holds unfishably windy, but boy, it dies down. Tuesday, it's fishable again and looking really, really good. All right, thanks again, everybody. Have a great Friday, and of course, we'll be back with more throughout the weekend. I'll try to do some updates from Baja California, Ensenada. Take care, my friends, and I hope to see you really, really soon.